What is going on, everybody? It's Falchion with you once again. And once again, we are here for another Borderless Gaming podcast. Welcome. Happy New Year, even though my banner has disappeared. Geek with me once again, as always. What's up to the people?
Welcome. How did you make it through the insurrection?
Yeah, we're not even talking about
this. Too soon? Too soon?
For one thing, a little too close to home. Me living where I live. But yeah. How's your new year been going outside of that?
My new year hasn't started yet. It doesn't start till the 20th.
Okay. You're really trying to get political, huh? Is that just your thing today? Politics.
Trying to stay away from politics, bro. Living my life.
And anything new?
Well, no. Everything I want to say new is political, so no.
Yes, he got something new, ladies and gentlemen. He got a new camera.
Oh, see, that was supposed to be for later in the show.
Welcome, Plank. Welcome. Glad to have you back, buddy.
It is the elephant in the room, Plank.
In the room. I mean, you guys want to talk about it? We can talk about it. I mean, yo, what's up? What's up? Tell the people what you're thinking.
Wow, I think a lot. I think it was ridiculous. You and I started our conversation off on Tuesday with "This is crazy,"
right?
And so I'm gonna stick with that. It was. I just never thought. My biggest feeling was, what is the delay in the response? And I'm going to leave it there.
So for anybody that might not know, for some reason, I guess if you live out of the country, you might not know. Or if you just really don't deal with news here in the United States, you might not know. And that could be because there was a time when I wouldn't have known anything about it. There were riots on Tuesday at the Capitol, on Capitol Hill, one of the supposedly most secure places in the United States, and it wasn't so secure. It was actually pretty terrible. It's unfortunate to have to report that 5 people so far have died from that. Hopefully no one else will. What else? The response, the police response, which historically, I'll say it like that, has been swift and heavy, was non-existent and quite polite, actually. I was surprised when I saw rioters being escorted down the steps in front of the Capitol building. And I mean, when I say escorted, I don't mean like they're being escorted down like to a police car or something. I mean escorted as in, here, let me help you because you're a 90-year-old and you might trip and fall down these stairs, and I don't want that to happen. Now, I'm not saying that they were 90 years old, but that's the way it was. It was police holding people's hands, helping them down the stairs so that they didn't get hurt. I also saw police opening barriers to let these the rioters, that's what they were. Some people are going to call them protesters. They were indeed rioters, and it was it was a stain on our country. Um, it, it amazes me that I'm the only one talking about this right now and looking down at his phone. I didn't even want to talk about this. But yeah, so it was bad. It was a bad day. It was a really bad day.
And it was.
And sad. And I think we now look horrible in the eyes of the world, and I think we have lost all rights to have any say on any political actions in the rest of the world, at least for a really long time, because everything that we supposedly stand for, we laid down for these past few months, to be honest. And yeah, so I'm saddened by that. So I guess it's not really a happy new year. I'm sad. I'm sad.
I don't know. Your audio messed up a little bit.
I said I'm going to take down the Happy New Year card because now I'm sad and it's not a Happy New Year. Actually, I think Blink or somebody in his Discord posted that we've had our 7-day trial of 2021, and I want my money back. Done. So yeah. Anything else on this topic that you decided that you wanted to talk about and then didn't say anything?
Well, I did say I just tried to leave it as open as I possibly could. And now what you wanted me to talk about was here's my new phone. This is
And that looks nothing like a phone to me. Like,
I mean,
at all. It looks like
wow,
a camera to me.
I did say phone. This is my new camera. This is the Sony NEX 5R. It's a mirrorless 16.1 megapixel camera, and this is the kit 18 to 55 millimeter lens.
So what are your plans?
For the camera is to use it to take videos and to up the production quality of my webcam.
So you're going to be using that as your webcam?
Yes.
In the future? That's cool. Nice. Turn on the lights.
That's the idea. Okay,
Nice.
so the elephant in the room has been discussed.
What's going on, J-Law? Welcome back. Weird. Why didn't... There it is.
Yeah, it took some time.
How's it going, Jay? So I mean, is it affordable? Like, is it reasonably affordable? I mean, you got new tech. Come on, like, if you want to, you're talking about extending the show to having a.
Hey, come on, like
I'm hearing myself through you.
I just cut it. I muted it.
You're talking about extending the show to include, tech that we're getting. Talk to me about it, man. Like, give me the info.
It's just the color science of a camera. I wanted to call it a DSLR, but it's not. It's the color science of a camera versus a webcam. That little tiny sensor, that's the webcam. And this is what is it? APS type C sensor, which is larger than a quarter inch. So it's a large size sensor. And so it does better color, better reproduction.
All right, so I'm just getting started in streaming. Right, I'm talking like day one when I'm first thinking about buying a camera. Is that what I'm getting? Is that what you recommend? Where is that in that whole setup?
J-Law, enjoy that date night with the wife. Thank you, sir. You too. Enjoy your evening.
You too, bro. Thank you. Tell the missus I said hello. Hope you guys have fun. Be careful. If you're not careful, name it after me. But yeah, like, so what's up? Is that what I'm going for day one, or is that down the line? What's up?
It's definitely a down the line. So I started out with a webcam. I don't know if everybody remembers on episode 1, I had that revolving circle. Actually, it was on this side going on behind me. That was because I was using my phone and software to send my phone over to the computer. And now I've graduated to an actual camera. And this is not even the camera that I want to end up with. It's just something for right now because it is priced very reasonably. Something that might normally be $700, I got less than $200.
So brand new camera, what you're talking about right there is in the $700 range, like straight out.
The kit that I have, yes, is in the $700 range with the lens. It comes with the flash that's still in the box. And the seller also gave me a camera case, and he gave me a leather case, a fitted leather case. So I got a good deal.
So basically what you're saying is it is not a bad idea to look to, I don't know, for lack of a better term, secondhand people that are trying to get rid of their old gear as they step up to new gear.
Yes, eBay, Amazon. There are some stores in my area that I can also, go to where they have used gear, and it's always good to check those to see if you get a good deal. First you want to research it online, know what you're looking for, know what you should pay, and then you'll know what a good deal is when you see it.
I mean, it's interesting that J Law stepped in and you mentioned eBay. He and I were talking not too long ago about purchases on eBay. I believe he was telling me he'd never done it before and he wasn't sure if he could trust it. Now, I've purchased many things on eBay. I've never had an issue. In that, if I did have an issue, there was never an issue getting my money back because I feel like eBay is very safe in that way. They do look out for the purchasers. Is that your experience? I mean, you mentioned it, so you must find them to be a pretty safe place to buy things.
I have bought stuff off of eBay. I have also, but I also use PayPal, so I have like double protection.
Right,
If
right,
if the product that I was sent is not in any way what I ordered, eBay will stop that and reverse the charges. Um, I mean, PayPal will stop it and reverse the charges.
right,
eBay also has a similar policy, but I have no experience with that. But
right,
I have had to say that I didn't like what I got to PayPal, and they've gone after the seller and stopped that sale. And I had no problem getting my money back. And actually, that same day, like in 20 minutes, I was able to purchase something else,
right.
the same product from someone else.
Yeah, I mean, I've had similar experiences. Actually, I've had experiences where I reached out to the seller first, and luckily, the seller was willing to work with me. So eBay is a pretty good place. You do run the risk of being price gouged there, but then that's kind of on you. Like, if you're perfect example being a PS5 or something, if you drop $2,000 on a PS5, knowing that the retail price is only $500, then you must have really wanted it or something. I don't know. You do run that kind of a risk, but nothing that is. I haven't dealt with anything on there that turned out bad, to be honest with you. It's always been safe. It's always been fair for me. I knew what I was looking for. I knew the prices that I was expecting to pay, and so yeah, not too bad. Cool, that's cool, man. I can't wait to see how that new camera looks on the stream.
Absolutely.
Is that an N7 shirt?
It is.
Where'd you get that? That's nice.
Loot Crate.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I might have to go back to Loot Crate. I kind of miss Loot Crate just for the shirts. Like the shirts alone, and it would give me an unboxing every month. Anyways, let's get into the gaming news, reviews, rumor mill. The rumor mill, the rumors surrounding gaming here lately have been out there. So, first one, have you heard about Microsoft is buying Sony for $130 billion?
Yeah, we're definitely in the rumor mill there. Because Microsoft vehemently denies it.
It's funny. Like, if there are a lot of people really happy about this, if you're a real Microsoft fanboy, and there are people that are really upset about this, if you're, well, probably J Law, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, don't get into that.
Yeah. No, Sony fans are really upset about this, hearing about this. Microsoft fans are really happy about hearing about this. And why? Like, if this were true, this would be all over the place, not just in gaming news. This would be making headlines just under all the political stuff going on in the world right now. Like, this would not be a little secret that is being talked about in a small corner of the gaming community. But I wanted to bring it up because of Microsoft fans being really happy about this. And I don't understand why this would make anybody outside of maybe Microsoft happy. If Microsoft were to purchase Sony, kill their only real competition. I mean, I know there's Nintendo, but Nintendo has its own place in gaming. If Microsoft were to kill Sony, or vice versa, either way, then we as the gaming community would suffer so bad. And I know a lot of you guys aren't old enough to remember back in the day, the Neo Geo, where games were $300, not game systems, games were $300. So that's what we would be back to, where prices would be crazy because there would be no competition. Like, I understand if you're a fan of a company, I really don't understand. But if you're loyal to a company and you want that company to do well, okay, cool. But if you want that company to absolutely wipe out its competition, then you also want that company to absolutely wipe out your bank account, because that's exactly what's going to happen if that should ever happen in anything. If there's no competition, there's nothing to keep a company from just serving up astronomical prices. And I'm telling you guys, you really don't want that. As much as you think you do, you really don't want there to be one powerhouse in any industry that you enjoy, because you are going to be the one to suffer. I guarantee it. Um, yeah, like, so this is a rumor. It's a foolish rumor. If it were in any way true, if there were any kind of hints about this, it would be all over the place, because doesn't only affect gamers. This also affects the business world as a whole. You know what I mean? So, um, before you get upset and emotional one way or another about anything, just take a moment to think, man. Like, could this possibly be true? Because if it sounds too good or too bad to be true, it probably is. Microsoft purchasing Sony, yeah, that's just crazy. Um, but again, you don't want that to happen. You don't want Microsoft to purchase Sony. You don't want Sony to purchase Microsoft. You don't want to lose Nintendo. In fact, if anything, right now you should be hoping that KFC and their new console hits big and continues on, because it's more competition. It's going to drive prices down. That's what you want. As much competition as you can possibly get. You don't want these companies wiping yourself out. And that again goes back to borderless gaming, man. The more out there, the better it is for all of us. No matter what you play on it. If you just play on one system, the more competition that's out there, the easier it's going to be on you, the consumer, the gamer. So, yeah, don't. Some rumors are crazy, but some rumors are interesting and cool and maybe even true. Have you heard about the PlayStation 5 limited edition? Some people called it the 30th anniversary edition, but it's actually not, because the 30th anniversary wouldn't be for like another 4 years or something. Have you heard about that?
Well, there's two things, but yes. And I was
So,
actually looking at what console, because they were talking that's the discussion right now, is what console they want to put out for the anniversary version.
so this one is based. So this one is a PlayStation 5 that is based off of. I don't know if you have a picture of it. I think I sent you a video at least. But this is a PlayStation 5 based off of the PlayStation 2. So it's black with the kind of rainbow, for lack of a better term, colored logos
PS logo, yeah.
with a matching controller. The consoles are what was it, 750 and 650. digital or disc version. Excuse me. And then you could also buy the controller for $100. Very beautiful. Let me see if I can find it somewhere.
Yeah, because I'm not getting the one that you're talking about.
Which one are you getting?
It's giving me everything else but that. So it's showing me like limited edition PS4s.
Actually, this actually kind of helps right here. Let me share my screen. So it's the point is it's true, right? They are actually a company called Super 5 was actually doing that. And here we go.
Oh, I have a better one here. I'll give
Here
you
we
this
go.
one.
This is
Oh, I think that's the same picture.
a picture of it right here. So this is the controller. Very nice looking. You can see, oh no, yeah, you can't see. Right here, you can see it's like there's a 30 here. So this is supposed to be the 30th anniversary, representing the PS2. If you remember this logo here on the PS2, like depending on the way you centered or you placed your PS2 vertical or laying down, the symbol here could turn so that it's always facing the right way. So yeah, this was on its way. 750 for the disc version, 650 for the discless version, which is pretty up there just to add a couple of, just to be black and add a couple of badges. But, it looks good. PS5 in black does look really good. But as you can see up here, boom, cancel. So what happened was, you can see it in the title here. Threats. People lost their flipping minds and started threatening the employees over at Super 5 over the limited over this being limited. There were going to be 350 consoles and 500 controllers, and people went crazy, started making threats, and so they canceled the whole thing. So some people felt like they couldn't get it, so now nobody gets it. They've already begun refunding orders over it. It's unfortunate. People, man, I don't know. I don't know. What are you gonna do? Like that. That is a nice looking console, and the fact that there are already like right now there are people that were willing to pay that beyond those prices for just the normal PS5. So to be able to get one, a special edition one for that price would have been nice for some people. That would have been a few more, PS5s out there in the wild, more people enjoying the console and everything. But yeah, we had to go and ruin it all. What do you think?
Well, I was really excited for it, but with the death threats and Sony hitting them with a cease and desist order, that was pretty. And I wanted to read some more about it, but then I got busy with everything else.
I didn't hear anything about the cease and desist.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was a thing. They hit them quick because there were a lot of stories about that because it had got a lot of traction. There were a lot of pre-orders I even heard for it.
Yeah, a lot of pre-orders. But I had heard that Sony was on board, but I mean, yeah, either way, at this point, it doesn't matter. They pulled them. They're refunding. Um, Sad. It really is. Like, and it kind of spills into the topic of what went on in the Capitol, man. Like, people nowadays, even, not even talking about that, even like the things that you saw going down, where I saw a woman at Walmart holding a baby in a physical fight, like swinging on a cop over a PS5.
What?
Yeah, like she was at Walmart, a bunch of people at Walmart, and Walmart only had so many, right? You know the story. And what happened was they ran out. And so she couldn't get it. A lot of people made promises to their kids that they weren't going to be able to fulfill. And she was one of them. And she got belligerent with the employees at the store. Now, there are rumors that the employees were buying them, were getting theirs first. So had bought theirs and were getting theirs. And so that meant less for customers. But guess what? That happens all the time. That happens every time. No matter what. If you work at a store that sells these things, the employees get first crack, right? You used to work back in the day at GameStop, right? You got first crack at stuff before the public, right? You had
Yes,
the
we did.
opportunity to buy something before the public. You were still paying the same price. You were buying it just as if you were a customer, but because you had that in, you got first crack, right?
Right.
I'll tell you, me personally, I got first crack, or I got a crack at a Wii U. It was sold out, but because my wife's sister-in-law's mother worked at Walmart, she was able to get one for me, right? So if you have an in, you're likely to be able to get it. Be able to, you're going to be able to get it easier than somebody else that maybe doesn't have that in. So, um, it happens. You don't be surprised by it, and definitely don't be mad enough to have a physical fight with the police over it. And if you are, if you are just going to be foolish enough to have a physical fight with a police officer, don't do it with a baby in your hand. Don't fight anybody with a baby in your arms. Like, honestly. And I guess she thought, and rightfully so, because I never saw the police officer swing back on her, that because she had the child in her hand, that the police officer wasn't going to retaliate. But you never know. And like, that baby could have gotten not only hurt, but very easily killed if something went down and that child got dropped and fell on its head or something. Like,
Right.
so,
Right.
yeah, like Plank said, man, people are just
Yeah, but
crazy.
that's not just sore. That's foolish.
Yeah,
You know,
that's beyond.
it's the life of a child
Yeah,
over a material thing. Isn't that the first lesson? You know, don't put yourself in danger for something physical that can be replaced or gotten at another time.
yeah. Actually, that Plank's statement brings me into another subject, and I actually lost the banner for it. I lost a bunch of banners. Xbox Series X's and S's are being found out in the wild now, finally. Sporadically, but more so than they had been. And Sony is saying that in 2 weeks, I want to say is a video I saw. I can't even remember the guy's name. I just saw it in passing and thought it looked interesting. Yeah, the same thing did happen with Pickle Me Elmo and
Absolutely.
Cabbage Patch Kids back then. I remember that too. People were going crazy over these crazy faced dolls. But Sony has been reported as saying that they are going to have PS5s restocked in about 2 weeks from now. So that's super cool and interesting. And hopefully it actually happens. And it happens in a way that everybody who actually wants one to play it gets one. So I know you're more looking for the Xbox than the PlayStation, but if PlayStation should come up first for you, are you going to jump on that, or are you just strictly looking for the Xbox right now?
Well, no, actually, because of the conversation that you and I had, I'm actually looking for the PlayStation first now because of the DualSense and how you say that those triggers feel. That's something that's an experience that I can't get with Microsoft.
Well,
And so I would take a PS5 over an Xbox first. I'm still going to get both of them. I mean, you know me, I'm going to do it.
Microsoft has been asking in surveys its player base if a DualSense type controller would be good for the Xbox. Unfortunately, a lot of really big fans, what we call fanboys, are saying no, it wouldn't be. Answering based on never having experienced this controller. Listen, guys, I get it. You love Microsoft, you love Xbox, and you believe that they love you and they're going to take care of you. And I'm going to tell you right now, honestly, straight up, seriously, no joke, they would be taking care of you if they made a controller that did what the DualSense controller does. That controller is completely amazing. It is. Listen, I am the biggest fan of Xbox controllers that you will ever see. I hate the inline sticks of the Sony controllers. I always have. I feel like every now and again when I'm manipulating them, my thumbs are long enough that they end up clashing with one another. And I hate that about that controller, right? But the haptic feedback, the resistance in these triggers, the way everything feels in this DualSense controller is out of control amazing. And I mean, look, guys, you think I'm joking? Here's my Xbox controller. This is my Elite 2, my Elite Series 2 controllers. I have 2 Elite Series 1 controllers. Actually, one of them is right here. Sorry, I'm hanging the mic. One of them is right here. This is the one I use for my PC. I use the Elite Series 2 for my Series X. My other Elite Series 2 is over there on my laptop. Back there on my laptop. And remember, that's $150 a piece, right? So I am all about Microsoft controllers. The DualSense, the PS5's DualSense controller is the biggest leap in next gen that happened in this new generation. I promise you, as a fan of Xbox controllers and somebody that has absolutely, to the point where I have a controller on my PS4 Pro over there that is a PS4 controller, but it has the stick layout of the Xbox. A $200 controller just to change the stick layout, guys. So I'm not kidding when I tell you that I am the biggest fan of the Microsoft controllers. To me, they're more comfortable. I like the stick layout. To me, if you ask me, and it's a personal thing, they are better hands down. But this this controller, hold on. Actually, a little bit out of my reach. This controller, I still dislike this layout. You know, give me this up here, and this is the best thing since sliced bread. I swear to you, I kid you not, the best thing in gaming. And I almost like this better than my Elite controller. My Elite controller has a few there are things I can do with my Elite controller to better suit it towards me. But I'm telling you guys, I know you're fans of Xbox's controllers. I agree with you. I am as well. They feel good. You can, and through Xbox, you can program them to do whatever it is you need them to do. Xbox gives you the opportunity to get these Elite controllers that add more control functions on the back of the controller. But the way this feels, the way this immerses you into games, to where you can feel the difference. And I know you've heard it before, time and time again. You can feel the difference between when you're walking on sand compared to rock, compared to ice. All that is real, and I know that some people's have broken. I haven't, thank God, I haven't had any issue with mine. But when you're shooting and you hit that point where you hit that last bullet and you feel the difference, and you just instantly know, boom, time to reload. The things that this controller does, I'm telling you, I understand you're fans. I am too. I'm right there with you. But I'm telling you, you want the features of this in this. I'm telling you, I promise you, don't let your biases make you miss out on something. Xbox fans, I'm telling you, you're making me mad. I'm about to cuss. You got it. But honestly, though, seriously, that controller, the way it feels, the way it plays, the feedback it gives you. I mean, I can't wait. And listen, I have, like, you see this right here. This is my race wheel, right? So I have racing gear for when I play racing games, right? I can't wait till the new Gran Turismo comes out and they implement everything on that controller. I want to play it on that controller. Thousands of dollars in gear. I want to play it on that controller that came with the system. That's how good that controller feels with its haptic feedback and everything. And like, Geek said we were talking about it, and he was like, I understand haptic feedback. I felt haptic feedback. Nah, not like this. Like, because, I mean, maybe. I don't know what you felt. What you've ever had in your hands. Like, you might want to go wash them before you take the next sip of whatever you just drank. Because I don't know where your hands have been. But, yeah, I'm telling you. So I can understand. That's cool. I'm actually surprised that you want to go for what do you call PlayStation? Paperweights. Paperweights. That's what you call them. Paperweights. I'm surprised you want to go for what you call the paperweight first. That's amazing. Dude.
Um,
That's not you.
you know, this is Geekmaster of Borderless Gaming, so I play everywhere. Well, as many places as I can. I don't have a Nintendo Switch, even though Evan does. Um, I enjoy playing, and if one of the systems is going to give me a uh extra experience that one of the others won't, that's a reason to buy that system first.
And
So,
honestly, I don't think it's a bad idea. Because there's a lot that you can do. That what that gives you, what that controller gives you, compared to what you get with the Xbox. And I love my Xbox. I mean, I love my PlayStation. I love everything equally. They're my kids. I love them all equally. I don't have any favorites. But right now, Microsoft is giving you the ability to do all these wonderful things wherever you want to do them, for the most part. I'm wondering if, like, not Game Pass, xCloud is going to come to the systems, like the Xbox system itself, to where you wouldn't even need to ever upgrade if that happened, because you could just play, because you would be playing through the cloud. You would get all the updated graphics and everything. So that would be pretty incredible if that's even a possible thing. But right now, if you want to feel something that's very see whatever, something that's very next gen, because you have to understand that the more generations there are, the smaller the generational leaps are going to be, right? And so this generational leap hasn't been that big, in my opinion, except for in two ways, and that is with that controller for the PS5 on the PlayStation side, and Game Pass on Microsoft side. Like what they're doing with Game Pass, and that's another. That's a card that I lost too. Um, with Microsoft just looking to expand Game Pass, and thinking, and now so we have Game Pass, which guarantees all their first party titles. You get to play, quote unquote, free day one. Of course, you have to pay the price of the service, but you know what I mean. Day one, boom. And then they bring in EA. Say what you want to say about EA. They're a huge company and they make games, a lot of games that people love. There's no denying it. Whether you should love them or not, that's a topic for another time. But they have games that people love, and games that I've loved in the past. Battlefield, the Battlefield series has always been great to me. That new Star Wars, their last two Star Wars games actually, uh, have been great. So, but whatever, their games part of a Game Pass, and now they're talking about bringing in. There's a possibility. There's a rumor of them acquiring Ubisoft's. What is it?
you play.
Uplay. Thank you. Uplay Plus. That would be amazing. Now it's a rumor right now, and we saw the rumors earlier where Microsoft purchasing Sony was just absolute bull. But then we saw the rumor of the PlayStation 5 limited edition that was happening, but then it's not happening because we can't handle it. And then but this rumor of Microsoft getting Uplay Plus into Game Pass, I can see that happening. I can see it not happening, and I'll tell you why. And they're both, oddly enough, for the same reason. So I can see it happening because Uplay Plus is on Luna. If you subscribe to Luna, you can add Uplay Plus as a part of that service. So you get Ubisoft's games included in that, and that is pretty great. That makes Luna really great for me. I'm a big fan. I know this is probably going to be controversial, but I'm a big fan of here we go again with this dude. I'm the only one. Let me be the only one, Plank. Let me be the only one. I'm enjoying it. Now, what? Get on my level, Plank. No, but I'm a big fan of Ubisoft games. Ghost Recon, #1 for me. I know you're a big fan of the Division series. Then all the Assassin's Creeds for me, all the Watch Dogs for me, and even more games. I'm looking forward to getting it. I have it, but I haven't played it yet. Because I've been sick. But looking forward to getting into Phoenix. What is that? Wow, I'm old, tired. Phoenix Rising. No, Phoenix something or other. I can't remember off the top of my head.
But, I don't know the Phoenix one.
It's their latest title. But all that being said, like that, I can see that happening for that reason. I can see, and so I can also, for that exact same reason, see Uplay not going to Game Pass because Game Pass or Luna might be a little bit of competition. So
are you talking about Immortals Phoenix Rising?
That's it. Thank you. Yes. I'm looking forward to getting into that game. I have it because I have Uplay Plus, so I get that game with that. I get all their games for that. I can see it not happening because they are working with Luna. So if Luna is considered competition to like xCloud for sure, then that I could see that as being a reason for this not being true, this being just a rumor and not actually happening, which would be unfortunate because if they could bring Uplay Plus into Game Pass, like Game Pass is already the #1 deal, and if you don't have Game Pass and you're a gamer, you're missing out. Because for just a few bucks a month, there are hundreds of games that you could be playing, and you can be checking out games. And I'm going to tell you now, Link could tell you, I'm messing up on it, right? I have Game Pass, and whenever somebody says to me, you should try this game, I now have to remember to think, let me see if it's on Game Pass first. Because playing, what was that game? Remnant, I think it was called, right? Playing, what's that game we were playing with the robots? That we were fighting the big robot and it was mud stomping us. I think it's Remnant or Relevant or something with an R. And I'm old, I can't remember stuff. Yeah. Actually, I'm just tired. Sorry. I've been sleeping well the past couple days. But I went out. Frank was telling me about that. Oh, it's great. It's great. You should get it. And then I went out and I got it. He's right. It's great. We were having a good time on it. I look on Game Pass and there it is. Didn't have to pay a cent for it. But I did. I wasn't doing it right. So,
Whoa.
wow. I had it way wrong, huh? Generation Zero. That's horrible. It was Remnant's that game that China decided nobody could play, even though it didn't have anything to do with or whatever. But yeah, sorry, yeah, he's right. Generation Zero. But yeah, so it's a big rumor. I hope it's true, man. I really hope it's true. Just to be able to, yeah, that was.
It happening is a rumor, but the discussions are real. I've heard Microsoft and people from not developers, but people in Ubisoft talking about it, but it's not a done deal, but they are discussing it and how would it work.
I hope they can make that happen because if they can make that happen, man, that would be honestly, if I'm telling the truth, Game Pass is enough for me as it is. It's that great as it is, it's enough. But if they can make that happen, oh, man, that's just like keeping more icing on the cake. And I don't even like icing.
You don't even like cake.
Like seriously, but yeah, we're getting close to the end here, Geek. I do have one more story, and that is for all you PlayStation fans out there, other than me that have the PS5 plank, because there's more of us than you know. Western Digital has listed an NVMe drive that is compatible with the PS5. So why is that a big deal? For one thing, I've run out of space on my goddamn PS5, and I can't get any more games without deleting games from it. And that, while that's not really a big deal, it's a big deal because I don't like deleting games. Like, I don't want to have to go back when somebody says, "Hey, let's jump on." What did I have to delete the other day?
But did PlayStation turn that on yet?
No, that's the problem. GTA 5. I had to delete GTA 5 to fit games. But no, they haven't. But my hope is that because Western Digital has now announced a drive that is compatible with it, that it might be coming really soon. That kind of just makes sense to me in my mind and the way I think. And I'm probably wrong in that before. I'll be that again, probably in the next 5 minutes. But that is my hope that, hey, so right now, if you look up Western Digital, Western Digital NVMe drives or M.2 drives is the easier way, the way I usually say it. M.2 drives, you'll see that they do have one listed as compatible with the PS5. They haven't turned it on. PS5 hasn't turned it on yet, and Sony hasn't mentioned it themselves yet. So I'm not saying to go out and buy it because you're looking at $230 for a single terabyte for one of these, and a little over $400 for 2 terabytes. So don't go spending your money just yet because it could end up a waste of money. We don't know yet. We wait till Sony makes their announcements, please. But be on the lookout for it if you're looking for a drive for the PS5 to expand your storage on the PS5. Western Digital has made an announcement, and I don't think that they would lie, but don't risk it just yet. But know that it should be coming. Geek, do you have anything more to say?
No, sir. I was just following along with you on that Western Digital because I saw it, But then I was like, well, if Sony hasn't turned it on yet, because the problem with that is that the final spec of it, Sony hasn't said, because they keep saying this will work as long as it meets certain specifications, but they
Right.
haven't said what those specifications are. So I
Exactly.
wouldn't advise anybody to go buy anything before we're sure if it's going to work completely.
So let me explain. To this point, we don't know hands down what the speed has to be, because what we do know is that if a drive isn't fast enough for either of these systems, the new systems, you can't play a game off that drive if it isn't fast enough. We don't know.
You can't play the current gen games. The older games will still work.
Right. And that's only on the Xbox. They won't work. You can't play a game off of any other drive on the PlayStation. Let me be
right,
clear on
because it's not turned on at all. Right.
Because you can store games on an older drive, but you can't play them off. You have to move them to the internal drive on the PlayStation as it sits now. So we don't know for sure what the speeds are. That's why we're saying don't go out and buy it right away, right now, because we don't know. We don't know the form factor, as in some of these drives have heat sinks on them to keep them cool because they get really hot. You heard the rumors about the Xbox One, quote unquote, burning people. That didn't happen. It didn't burn anybody.
Yeah, it didn't.
It's just warm to the touch. But people want to blow things out of proportion. These things do get hot, get warm, can damage themselves. So we don't, as it sits now, we don't believe that one of these drives with a heatsink can fit into the PlayStation. It's not. We think that the cover that's going to go over it will be acting as a heatsink for it. So if you end up getting one of these with a heatsink on it, you're going to be getting one that won't physically fit because it'll be physically too tall. You won't be able to close it. So that's why we're saying don't go out and buy one right now. We don't have enough information on them yet, but do be on the lookout. My personal hope is that with Western Digital making this announcement, that these drives will be announced by Sony sometime soon, hopefully no later than February. But it's really great that Western Digital is saying, "Hey, this is the drive that's going to work." So I imagine they must have some kind of insight on it. But we as consumers aren't there yet. We don't know yet. So don't. I know you guys want them. I'm right there with you. Like I said, I'm already out of space. I'm already having to delete games that I want to play. I want to play with my friends. But unfortunately, yeah, we're not there yet. But we are getting close, I think. Let's see what Geek threw up here. Yeah, see, like right there. Actually, that's a good picture. Where it says right there, Western Digital Black. You see all that black case right there with the red on top. That is a heat sink. That will not fit in the PlayStation. That will make it too big. If you see in the back, that doesn't have a heat sink. We believe that the cover that goes over top of this in the PlayStation is going to act as its heat sink. So that's why we're saying hold off just a little bit longer. As you can see, they're talking about having a 500 gig, a 1 terabyte, and a 2 terabyte option. That's awesome. Even though the 2 terabyte option is like the price of the digital version of the PS5, but yeah, hopefully they're coming soon. we just got to hold out a little bit longer, guys. But yeah, that's exciting. I know Jay Law and I. It's too bad that he missed this part of the show. We've been talking a lot. He's been asking me a lot about these and when they may be coming and what have you. And that's the latest. Western Digital has announced its capable SSDs, and this is what they look like. The one in the background, not the one in the foreground. Remember, the one in the foreground, anyone that has a heatsink on it is not going to fit. If you decide to jump the gun, just remember that we know that for sure. It's not going to fit. It's too tall. It's not going to fit. So you're going to need the one that looks more like the one in the background. Yeah, I have nothing else, Geek. What about you?
What was that? There was an article. There was something that I was watching on YouTube that I wanted to get into.
What's it about?
Okay. There's a dock, USB hub for the Xbox Series X.
Okay.
And that was something I wanted to look into because I didn't watch. It's a video on YouTube, and I didn't watch it yet to know, what is it? What amenity does it afford us? So, guys, that's something I'm gonna watch and read up on more for next week's.
So it's just a USB hub, like to add extra USB slots to your system.
Not just yes, but it's not just the slots. It's the fact that they were talking about. Now that you have that, you can connect a number of different drives that maybe you had game saves from the
I've
one.
got that.
And so it wouldn't take up any of those slots, or it would give you extra slots.
Yeah, I have one.
A number of drives.
So like I have, not including the memory card type SSD that you can get now with the new system. I have 3 drives hooked up to my Xbox, and I have a USB hub to help with that. They work great. Yeah.
Yeah, but this hub is supposed to be special enough that that's why I need to watch it because there was something more to it that I was like, okay, and I just saved it and said I would get back to it.
All right, well, we'll be interested in that for the next show because I have a USB hub. It's just a 3.0 hub, powered 3.0 hub that works. It works with my race wheel and all my drives and everything, and that's where I plug in all my extra stuff not even my controller. I don't know if you know this. One of the really great things about this controller, the
case,
the Elite 2.
Charging.
Yeah, the case is the charging base for it. So whenever I just put my controller down, it charges. So even that's plugged into it.
Wow, Evil Scotsman.
Whoa.
That's a serious jump.
Whoa, wait. What? See, now we're going to have to keep going. What? Like, you are the biggest Xbox dude I know. For real. Like, for those that don't know, Evil Scotsman is my boy from Scotland. So what's up? Long time no see, bro. And let me tell you how big this is, in all honesty. Evil Scotsman runs a racing league on one of the few racing leagues on the Xbox. So for him to say
Plank.
that he is going straight, that he canceled his pre-order for next gen, and is, wow, that's deep, bro. Like, when did you make that decision?
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that one.
I mean, he's always played on PC. Don't get me wrong, but Xbox was for sure his main. Wow, like, I'm shocked right now. That's shocking to hear. Cancel. I need a minute to be clutching my pearls. Wow. That's big. That's big news. It should be popping up here in a moment. And Plank is, I don't even know why Plank is welcoming. What club are you welcoming him to?
To
Plank?
the PC Master Race Club.
No, I know what he's saying, but he's like you right now looking for an Xbox.
Wow, 2 to 3 months.
Wow. So you haven't been okay. We need to talk, because okay, if you're doing that, are you racing on the PC? Because wow.
Now wait, Evil Scotsman, I need you to specify. Did you just cancel your pre-orders and you're going to wait till they're just readily available and you're going to pick up one then? Or are you saying you're backing away from console and going just solely to PC?
I mean, honestly, for him to say that he hasn't touched his Xbox in 2 or 3 months now, and I know that they race weekly, every week, and it's his racing league. He runs the league, so man, I've been out of touch.
Yeah. So how does that go? Did you disband the racing league?
No, I just saw the other day that they were racing. You know what? $6 right? On Sundays?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, next Sunday. Or sorry, I didn't mean to call you by your real name. My bad. Evil. Next Sunday at 6:00. Would you be willing to hang out and do the show with us? I'd love to talk to you about this on the show. This is such a huge surprise to me. Like, for real, I'm dumbfounded right now. I know you were doing. I know that you. And anyways, that's another thing. How's your he? So I actually, Geek, you had mentioned, and Plank for the same matter, both of you had mentioned to me a sparked interest in playing Grand Theft Auto role playing servers. Evil Scotsman is making one. So how is that going, Evil? Also, and yeah, like, that would be awesome. So next week, I will be in touch with you throughout the week. I missed. No, I didn't.
Right.
Cool.
He may pick up one day, so he just canceled his pre-order.
But I mean, that's huge. I remember in the Discord, he was when everybody was pre-ordering and it was getting close to time. I felt like he was excited about it. And man, this is huge. Wow. Him absolutely dumbfounded. But anyways, what I was saying was he's putting together, and I know like they have been doing, man, for what, 6 or 8 months now, maybe even more than that. These guys have been programming an RP server for Grand Theft Auto 5. And I got to do some testing with them, and I've been wanting to do some more, but I haven't seen anybody on. That may be a problem on my end, but it was cool because I was a cop on there, and what they had back then, this was a few months ago, where people were calling in, and we were running around making arrests and putting people in jail and everything. So, yeah, that's another thing that hopefully will be willing to talk to us about next week. So, yeah, next week, all the way from Scotland, the evil Scotsman. Oh, you went to help another. Okay. So, what does it take to get in on your?
Wow, he made a serious investment in PC gaming.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He had a banging computer for all this, because I mean, we've played games on PC before, but always our mainstay was the Xbox. I mean, he even had a PS4, and did a little bit on there, but always the mainstay was the Xbox. So this is huge. Wow. So is your server full? Your role playing server full? Actually, I want to say I got a notification just before the show. Yeah, that you were streaming SnowRunner. You were doing a SnowRunner test. I really like that game. Anyway, so look, we're once again we've gone over time. I apologize, but this is big news to me. Like, wow, that is unexpected. I need to get in. We need to talk. Really soon. Wow, 2,000 pounds in the last year. Cool. Yeah, push me the details.
Yeah, because I definitely was talking to Falchion about it a while ago.
It's fun. It's a fun way to play. And it gets crazy, and to try and stay in character with all the craziness and the funniness that just is happening, it's fun. I definitely recommend anybody who wants to just have a really different kind of fun that's not all about trolling on that game, because that's where most people get their fun is through trolling on that game. But if you want a different kind of fun that has nothing to do with trolling, but is like really extremely fun, an RP server is the way to go. It's great. But yeah, 20 minutes over again. Geek, anything else?
No, I think we covered it all.
All right, so next week you are going to come back with information on that USB hub for the Series X. Yes?
Yes, if it lives up to the hype of being something other than just a regular hub?
We're gonna have Evil Scotsman as a special guest. Tell us, because I am definitely extremely curious to know what happened in his life that couple months off of the Xbox. That means a couple of months away from the racing league. That's crazy. And I want to also hear more about this this RP server for Gran Turismo 5, and maybe we can drum up more people for it. If you're
Gran
definitely
Turismo or GTA?
GTA, sorry, GTA, Grand Theft Auto. Sorry, got Grand and still thinking about that controller in that game, but sorry, GTA 5. Maybe we can drum up some more business for that, and yeah, that's it. I guess we will call this one done. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody, all you guys who decided to chat with us. I also thank all you guys who just decided to watch, or if you're watching it later, I thank you for sticking this far into the show. We really appreciate it. Hopefully next week we will also have at least one more way to up our stream game so that we can also show you how to up your stream game, trying to figure it all out, growing together. And for the Gkmstr, I'm Falchion. 2 fingers is peace. Later, guys.